can't think for himself.
She's right. Do you guys know what I did to get in here?
That was you?
And the bizarre thing is, I did it for my old man. I tortured this poor kid because I wanted him to think that I was cool. He's always going off about, when he was in school, all the wild things he used to do. And I got the feeling that he was disappointed that I never cut loose on anyone, right?
Now think of the role of a parent. The role of a parent is to try to help your child, if it is your child, to try to help your child aspire to the great things in life, to his own dreams in whatever field he wants, whatever rational endeavor that he would like. But to want as a goal for your child to self-destruct, to be a bully, to do wild things, to drink, to drug, to do other things like that, to try to put that on your child, that's the standard, that is incredibly destructive. And that's from the Breakfast Club. And I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner, and my show is The Rational Basis of Happiness. I'm a clinical psychologist. You can give me a call with your questions toll free, 1-877-Dr. Kenner. That's toll free, 1-877-DRKENNER. And you can also visit my website, drkenner.com. drkenner.com. And right now we're turning to the phones and welcome Anna. Anna, you have a question about child rearing.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
It concerns bonding.
Yes.
I have a child whom I did not have the opportunity to bring up during the years that he was 2 to 5. And later on, he told me that he had found out that people bond between the ages of 2 to 4, and that therefore my parent, who was the person who brought him up during that period, was the person who would take preference over me. And eventually, which is right now, he's ultimately decided that he doesn't want to have anything more to do with me. By the way, the time that I was away, I was charged with manslaughter with the shooting death of my husband, and I was in a prison for 3 years.
Oh my gosh, what happened there?
I know. It was unbelievably horrible. But anyway, I was given a pardon, and I was released. I had 2 older children who didn't have this problem because they were 3 or 4 years older than he.
Yeah.
But they didn't have this particular problem because the third boy didn't know his father at all, and so he has resented me, and it's been a growing resentment.
How old is he now?
He's old. He's in his late 30s.
Okay, so now he's saying to you, he's reflecting back on his childhood, on this awful period in your life, and he's saying that the reason that he doesn't connect with you is because you weren't there in his formative years, the developmental years, the most important years.
He hasn't put it exactly that way, but his point is that he bonded with my mother, whom he was with during the time he was from 2 to 5, and actually he thought, bonding was between 2 and 4. I guess he read that in psych or something.
Right, and there are a lot of bonding studies, and you look at animals and you see imprinting, you see little ducks following a mother duck and the rest. But there's a little difference with human beings. Have you ever met anybody later in life that you really connected with?
Has he ever?
No, have you?
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I had remarried, and so he had been brought up.
Yeah.
Ostensibly, by me, of course, by the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And he had a wonderful, he went everywhere. He went to Europe, he went to Bermuda, he went to the Caribbean. He was everywhere. So he's had all of the, the fine things. We were never at a loss for money.
Yeah.
But it seems as though he seems to be devoid of emotion. And he's just sort of gravitated to his grandmother, and he just prefers her to me.
Wait a minute. He's not devoid of emotion. He's devoid of emotion
with me.
With you.
Well, his brothers feel that he's sort of just doesn't have emotion. There seems to be a great lacuna in his education. Or in his emotionality.
Okay.
I shouldn't say,
so you're saying he does have emotions, but not towards you.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not quite as much as especially one of the other boys, and he just. My question really is this going to be forever, or will he ever come out of this, or should I just write him off, but never try to make any kind of a...
You can't force a mind. People have free will, which means that he evaluates you, he evaluates Grandma, he evaluates the other adults and other people in his life. He looks back on his childhood and draws some conclusions. And if you were an incredible, I don't know how you were, coming out of prison, how were you towards him?
Oh, I treated him exactly as I treated the other two. In fact, he got more tangible kinds of things because he was the youngest of the three.
Did you feel guilty at all and maybe overcompensate?
Of course. I mean,
yeah.
And I thought I would have to give him a lot because of that. And of course, the others got the same, but he, because he was the youngest, was around the longest.
You know, we actually need him here to answer that question. So your basic question, I disagree with. The answer to your basic question, I disagree with, meaning I don't think that there is, with human beings, yes, the person that you're closest with growing up, you can value that person tremendously. If it was your mother, then that's the person. But at the age of 5, if you came on the scene and connected with him well, he would have 2 wonderful people to bond with. If there were complications, and even if you tried your best, if he had drawn some conclusions about you, if he was embarrassed about you, Mom is in jail. Well, where's your mommy? We're going to Thanksgiving with our mommy. My mom's in jail. I know he was 5.
That could very well be. I mean, I wasn't there.
He could have been mortified. He could have been just totally embarrassed. He didn't know how to deal with that, and kids might have teased him or taunted him. I mean, there may have been a lot that went on that contributed to him emotionally not knowing where to package you in his mind, how to evaluate
I think
you.
That's a good parameter. I had never given that a consideration. That may very well have happened to him.
Also, if he goes to the movies and sees James Bond flicks or any mystery movies or sees a whodunit and he sees murder mysteries and sees people in jail, he gets another opinion about you without knowing you. Now, I'm assuming you were pardoned. What happened with your husband?
Well, I killed him. No question about that.
How did you kill him?
We were in an argument, and it was an accident. I mean, I have no recollection of really the details, but the man was doing very poorly in the service. He was a commander in the Navy, but he had a lot of personality problems. But
what caused you to kill him? I mean, what did he do to you?
Oh, well, he was abusive. I mean, he would just lead me on and get me very...
was he physically abusive?
Both. He would break things. I mean, he would tear telephones out of walls, and he would break all the windows.
Oh my
in the
gosh!
house.
So everyone was traumatized, and you killed him. How did you kill him?
I shot him.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds very, very horrible, but I mean, that's how it happened.
So if your son knows this, that Daddy was shot by Mommy,
yes.
And, who knows what type of explaining he had to do as a kid, and he may have emotionally just pulled away from you, and then he doesn't know how to tell you he may not want to go into the details with you, so he just tells you the bonding. He may have read that in a book and just feels he connected with Grandma, but it could be that he prefers Grandma as his mom.
Oh, I'm sure. I think he really does.
Yeah, and I know
that
right.
She was very wonderful to him, and she treated him. He was treated the best of the 3.
We're right at the end of time. What I recommend is he's going to make his own choices. Connect with the kids your 2 children that do bond with you, that do connect with you, and leave it. It's his choice. If he ever chooses to connect a little more, then that's up to him. I'm Dr. Ellen Kenner, and thank you so much for joining me on the Rational Basis of Happiness. And see you again next week.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by Drs. Kenner and Locke.
When your loved one is your highest, most selfish, most important social value, you will want to treat him or her accordingly, and your loved one will want to treat you similarly. This means regularly asking yourself, What can I do to make this relationship thrive? The actions you take will sustain and enhance your emotions, your love, and your passion. Your love will grow and flourish. In financial matters, partners should encourage one another to balance the short term and the long term. Only a small percentage of people engage in long-term financial planning, yet everyone needs to do this, and you should start at least 30 years before retirement. Today, more than ever, couples need to take charge of their own retirement planning.
You can download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.